Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we are going to creating how to add Gmail authentication in our Android application. So first of all I want to show you the demo, then after we are going to create this in Android Studio. So you can see my mobile screen, there is a one signing button. When I click on this signing button, it show the list of an email. So I click on signing button, so it show the list of the email. Then after I select the email, it will redirect to the another screen and show the detail of our like a name, ID, person name, given name of our email ID. So I selected our email address, so sign in successfully, toasted message is shown below, and then after you can see the person name and person email ID, person ID, and then person given name. So it is a detail which I filled while creating the email ID. So it show all these details, and after I click on sign out button, it will sign out. So when I click on sign out, it will redirect to our first screen, and it is a one-time authentication. So then after I click in signing button, it will automatically select our last email ID, and then we are redirect to our dashboard. It may be dashboard or profile screen, whatever you are creating. So in this video I am going to teaching you this process, how to add Gmail authentications in our Android application by using a Firebase. So first we want to create a new project. Before creating a new project, if you new in Android app developers, you don't know which programming language you want to use to develop Android applications. So I created a complete playlist where I teach Java, Kotlin, MySQL for database connectivity, and the basic overview of Android Studio. So what is a manifesto file, what is a XML files, how to export applications. In this video I teach all this thing. So I give this playlist link in description section. If you want to watch this video, please check the description sections. So now we want to select an empty activity, then after press on next button, then you can give your application name. So I am going to give Gmail authentication. Package name should be my default package name, and if you want to change your package name, you can change from here. Language we are going to using a Java, and minimum SDK is 4.1, so we can target maximum 99.8% of a device. So almost in all device our application will be run smoothly. Then click on finish button. Our project will be start creating. So when you click on build, you can see the process. So our project is configured successfully. So now we want a two activity. One is a signing activity and another is a sign out activity. So before creating a activity, we want to connect with the Firebase. So there is a two way to connect with the Firebase. One is the you want to create project in Firebase, then after you want to download a Google JSON file. That is a long process. I suggest you the best way to connect with the Firebase. Click on the tool button, there is a Firebase option, click on them. Then after it will show some options here like analytic, authentication, real-time database. We want to add authentication in our application, so click on the authentication. Then after click on the authenticate using Google sign in. So it will show these options, connect to Firebase. So first we want to connect with the Firebase, then after we want to add a dependency and libraries, all this thing. So we need to connect with the Firebase. Connect to Firebase, it will be open our default browser and redirect to Firebase website. So then after you want to click on add project, it will automatically detect our project name, and then it show yes. If you want to change your project name, you can change your project name, but it will not change in your Android Studio. It will change in your Firebase project name only. So then after click on continue, and then after again continue, and then you can select a locations where our server has located. So I will select a default United States, and then after I accept term and condition and create a project. It will take a few seconds to create our project. So our project is created. Now click on continue again. So it will show you to connect with the Android Studio. There is a connect button, I will show you. So then click on connect button. After clicking on connect button, it show that your Android Studio project is connected to your Firebase Android app. Now go back to your Firebase website and search for our project where you have created before. So this one I created. Now just click on them, and you can see our package name of our Android Studio. So it is successfully connected with our Firebase. Then click on authentication, click on get start. So we are adding a email authentication, means a Google sign in. So we want to use a Google product. So click on this and then enable this, and you want to add a project support email ID. So click on them, it will automatically give you the options of email ID which you have login. Then select that email ID and save. Then after it will show some error like configuration SHA-1 certificate and re-download Google service JSON in project setting. So you want to configure SHA-1, so click on setting and then project setting. Scroll down, and here you want to add a SSA, so click on add fingerprint. So how can we add? Go back to your Android project. Click on Gradle options. There is a Gradle options above assistance option, and then click on this Gmail authentications. It will show two options that like a task and app. So we want to generate a SHA. So open the tasks and then open Android and click on signing report. So it will start executing some process and it will give our SHA code, that is a certificate. So you can see here, copy this complete code by pressing Ctrl C. Go back to your Firebase project and add here, Ctrl V to paste here and save. So now SHA has been connected successfully with our Firebase project. Now we want to add some dependency. So there is a two way to add a dependency by clicking add the Firebase Authentication SDK to your app. You can click here, or another way is click on this project, then go to the Gradle script. There is a build Gradle options, or you can add here dependency in which version you want to add of Firebase Google Authentication. I will tell you both way. First we want to add the Firebase Authentication SDK to your app. So click on this button, then after it will show the services of Google's and also dependency. Accept change. Click on accept change, then it will automatically add here dependency and also add a Google services like this service is added now only. Apply plugins com.google.gms Google services. So it will take a few seconds. Like services is added successfully, configured successfully, and within 16 seconds it's showing. Now you can see this dependency added successfully, but we need a like older version 17.1. So you can cut here 17.0.0 because it is a stable. I'm using this one for authentications in our Android application. Then after you want to add this 2 dependency also, so total you want to add this 3 dependency. So I will give you this piece of code in description section. You can copy it from description section. So after adding this dependency, you can click on this sync now button. You can see. So you can see the configuration has been successfully added, means dependency has been added successfully. So we have successfully connected with Firebase, and I also show you the Google JSON file which has added in our project. So click on project and then open this Gmail authentication. You can see here app option, then click on the app folders, and then you can see the Google service JSON has been added successfully in our project. So we have connected with the Firebase. Minimize this. Now we want to need a 2 activity, so I will create another one activity. Then click on double shift, search for empty activity. I will going to give the dashboard name of this activity, and if you want to give another name, you can give it as per your project requirement. Then after I will going to click finish. New activity has been created successfully. So we have created our 2 activity, main activity where we want to add a sign in button, and dashboard activity where our sign out button will be added. So first of all, we want to design in our main activity where we want to add a one button. So I'm going to delete this hello world text. We don't need this hello world text, and this is a constant layout. We want to use a linear layout, so change it in linear layout. And orientation, we need a vertical. Then after we need a button. So there is a 2 way to create a button. Directly we will able to create a button, and another way we have added our Google dependency, so we can use our Google login sign in button. So go to the Firebase website. So in Firebase website, on top of the menu bar, there is the options like documentation. So click on documentation where we want to add in Android Studio. So get start for Android. Click on this get start for Android, and then after you can scroll down here and you can see the authentication options. So click on authentication option. Then after you can see the Android. So we want to add authentication in our Android applications. So click on the Android applications. So then after we want to use a Gmail authentication like a Google sign-in authentication. So click on Google sign-in authentication. So here is a Google sign-in authentication. So it will provide you logic how to add a Google sign-in your Android application. So it is so basic. If you want to modify something like we want to add multiple screens, so we want to use our logic. So like we want to add a button, so we just scroll down and integration Google sign-in into your Android. So click on them. Then after you can scroll down, you can see button codes. It already designed button, so we don't want to add our Google image, PNG image, and set this all thing. So we back to our project, and then I'm going to paste this code here. This button will be added in your project if you connected with the Firebase and added all the dependency. Then this code will be work. If you are not connected with Firebase properly, then it will show the error. So our sign in button has been added successfully. We want to align this sign in button in center of our layout. So in linear layout, I will give a gravity to center. So automatically our button has aligned in center position of our layout. So ID of the button is given a sign in button. If you want to change, you can change it from here, or width and height are given wrap content. So that's it, we need that much only. Then after we go back to the main activity. So now in our main activity we are going to write authentications code. So first of all we are going to creating the instance variables which are we going to use in our main methods. So type here private sign in button, then after give it name sign in button. Then we need a Google sign in client option also, so it also private. Then you can see the suggestions where Google sign in client, then Google, give the variable name like Google sign in client. This variable name we are going to using in main method. We need a private string tag equal to main activity. Then after we need a Firebase Auth, and then the variable name auth. That's it. Then after we want to hook this sign in button where we created an XML file. So give the variable name sign in button equal to find view by id r.id dot and then search for sign in button. If you want to check from where this sign in button are redirected, so press on control button and move your cursor to this sign in button, then click this, then you will automatically redirect to XML file and it will show where these sign in buttons are located. So this is an easy way where you are in your file there is a loss of a button and you want to check if you are selecting a right button or not, so you can use this method to find it out. Then auth equal to Firebase Auth dot get instance. So we hooked successfully. Then after whenever user can click on sign in button, so our task will be performed. So sign in button dot set on click listener new. So what happened when we click on sign in button? So we will perform some tasks inside this button method. Then after we go back to the documentation, so here we can scroll down and you can see, so when user click, so they shown that the direct click option set on click listener, then they created the methods. So we want this piece of a code like a switch v.get id, so we are getting id, then after this sign in method will be invoked. So copy this from here and then after you can paste this code inside this sign in button on set click listener. So then after it will show the here that it does not find this method, so you can create this sign in method. So shortcut way to create this sign in method, alt plus enter, create method, click on that and it will show two types of a method, like anonymous method, like it will be create inside this button method only, or another one is a main activity method, and another one is a main activity method. So second one we want to create, so click on them, it will create this method outside the main method but it inside the class. So I will show you the main method. So this one is our main method and this one is our method where we have created now only, and this is our class. So this is our main class. So I click this code again. So go back to our documentation, so you can scroll down, so you can see the private void sign in method, so which is created private void sign in method. So we need a intent sign in intent Google clients dot get sign in intent. So what the mean of this code? It's mean that the email ID which is present in your mobile phone applications, it will show one screens where the list of email are displayed. So copy this two line and then paste here. Now you can see error in this code, so you can solve this. So alt enter, it will show the some options. So select the first option, create a constants field. So it will automatically create this variables where we want to assign some value. So like we want to assign 1 2 3. So you can assign whatever you want, it will be automatically checked when login has been processed. Like user click on sign in buttons, then after window will be pop up and it will show the list of a email. Then after if user selected a one email, then what will happen? So we want the detail of that email, like person name, person email ID, tokens, everything we need. So here we given a start activity for result. So we want to create a one method. So method name will be on activity result. So you can type here on activity result. So you will get a suggestion of this method, or you can go back to our documentations. This suggestion will be shown only when your Google dependency or Firebase Authentications dependency has been added successfully in your project. So we will back to our documentations where we need this method. So we're going to copy this method and paste here. So after pasting this method, you will find some comments. You can delete that comment. We don't need this comment. And then tags, alt enter, import a class, alt enter, import a class, and tags, there is a alt enter, import a class. So we imported a class. Then after, there is a one more method, handle sign in result. So like when button click, this method invoke. After this method will be invoke. After this method, like handle sign in method will be invoke. So like this procedure will be take place authentications in our Android application. So as I explained you before that we have created these instance variables. So it is easily used in any method. So if any method want this instance variable, they can easily use it. Like example, this Google sign in client, where redirect, from where it redirect, we can click on control button and click on mouse button. It will show that it will redirect and get instance from here. So that's why we created this all instance variable inside a class but not in method. If we are going to create these variables inside the method, that method only can access that instance variable. So go back to our documentation. You can read this documentation. There is a loss of a thing. So we are going to copy this handle sign in result method and we are going to paste here. So it will show error in API exception. So you can press alt enter and import the class. Wherever error is, you can import that class. And just I am going to remove this comment has been given inside this code. And I'm going to add a toasted message. If a login has been successfully, it will select a user can select email ID successfully. We want to show a message like login successfully. So just type a toasted, and then we are going to write sign in successfully. And we don't want to use this log, so we want to delete this. And here also we are going to use a toasted message, and here we are going to write a sign in fail. If any problem is happen, like internet connections disconnected, or maybe a user does not selected any ID, so it will show the sign in field. Then after, we don't need this update UI design, so cut this. We need a Firebase authentication. So go back to our documentations. Then after, you go to our main documentations, where this is the first page where I shown you before. So like scroll down and you will find this Firebase Auth with Google. This method, you copy this complete method, or you can click here copy icons. After copying this method, go back to our project, then just paste here. So we need to call this method in another method. So we are going to calling this method in handle sign in result method. Like sign in is a successfully, then we are going to give a task redirect to the another screens, or open a profile screen, dashboard screen, whatever you are creating, you can give that screen name. So first of all, just copy this method and paste here, and give your string ID token has account. So from where it account is redirecting, so you can see this Google sign in account complete tags.get result. So it will be redirecting from here. Same, copy this and paste here, and here you want to give a null. Then after, you can click on this Google Auth provider, alt enter and import a class. Just import all the class where you can see the error. So we don't need this log one, so we can delete this. And this comment line also I am going to delete. And update user UI also I don't need. I want to create my own design, like a new screen, move to the new screen when login is successfully. So we don't need this snack bar also. So just we need a Firebase user amauth equal to get a current user details. So like if task is successfully, so we are going to print one message successfully. Then after, type Google sign in account and just search, and then name the object has account. You can name as you remember. And then I'm going to name, and I'm going to give a account as a name, and then same Google sign in dot get last sign in account get application context. So what the mean of this piece of a code? So with the help of this account we can get the detail of that email ID, like a name, username, given name, ID, token, everything. So after getting that all detail, we are going to pass this all detail to the another screen like a dashboard or a sign in successfully screen. So first we are going to create a string person name, and I'm going to assigning a now null. So like this I have a create a person given name, person email, person ID. So after creating the string, so you want to if account not equal to null. What the mean of this code? Like if a detail is not a null, detail is present. So what we want to do, we want to get that all detail in our string. So like we have create a person name, then account dot get given name or maybe display name. So like this I am going to getting this all detail of user email ID. So person given name, person email, person ID have a get it in this string, like a stored in this string. Then after we want to move this screen to another screen, that may be a dashboard or any screen where we are going to showing our detail. Like so here we are going to creating a intent. What I mean by intent is used to move from one screen to another screen, and new intent get application context, and the another screen name is dashboard. But now I did not created this screen, so after writing a code I will create this screen, and then I want to put this extra data by using a intent put extra method. So like intent dot put extra. So put extra, so we can use this put extra to move data from one screen to another screen. So like this I need a copy of this this put extra. So I just copied, and first of all I'm going to name. So first is a name, then after email. What they mean by this email name I will just explain you, wait for a minute. Person given name. So we have given a name, like we are storing the data this person name variable, so we want to find it this variable or a data. So we need to assign some name, then only we will be able to find, because we have given four data like a person name, person given name, person email, person ID. So we want to find this data in another screen, we want to assign some name. So that's why we given this name. So I can explain you after when we are going to create another screen. So now we are going to moving to another screen, so we need to start an activity. So if we are not going to start an activity, then we will not going to moving from one screen to another screen. So here is the dashboard here, because it does not find this activity or a XML file like another screen it does not find. So we want to create this activity. So we want to copy this name, we need a same name has given, and then double shift, then you can search for empty activity, then you can create this empty activity as a name of a dashboard. Like a dashboard is already we have created. Here is the dashboard we have already created, I also forgot it, sorry for that. Now we want to change name as a dashboard. So I given a dashboard, now error has gone. And in else part we are going to write a toasted message if signing is failed. So we are going to write a fail directly, whatever you like you can write it here, like a sign in failed, internet connection issue. So now we want to code in our dashboard screen. So before moving to dashboard screen, there is some error in this part. What is the error? Let I can read it. Change the first parameter of method. So we have done some mistake here. We want to string ID token, so we need to change here string ID token from like Google sign in account. Then we want to give this token name account, and we want to change here ID token to account dot get ID token. So that's it, our error has been solved. Like there is no error in account part. Before moving to the dashboard activity, we just forgot to request emails. We want to assign Google sign in options in main method. So here we want to request ID and request email to build it. So you want to type here Google sign in options, then after you want to name it Google sign in option equal to new. So we are creating objects Google sign in options, and here we want to assign default Google sign in option dot default sign in, and here we want to add a dot builder and then dot request ID. So it's a ID token get string r dot string dot default web client ID. So you can see the session default web client ID, then select this one. Then after we need to request an email, then after dot build. So after building this you need to assign this thing in Google client. So we have created here private instance variables, so name it Google. So just type a variable name Google sign in client equal to Google sign in dot get client this comma, then the object name, that is a Google sign in options. That's it. Now we want to move to the dashboard screens and we want to create our dashboard activities and XML design. Now we are moving to the dashboard activity. Before moving to dashboard activity, we need to design this dashboard XML file. Like here is a constant layout. We need to change this layout into linear layout, and the orientation of this layout will be vertical. So type here orientations vertical. Then after we need one label and one button. So when user click on that button, it will be sign out, and whenever the user move from one activity like a login successfully, we want to show the detail of that email ID, like their name, that ID, their token, everything. So you can see in my mobile screen. So I'm going to first create a one button. So just I created a one button. I given the button ID as a sign out button, and width height will be wrap content margin top is a 20, but we want this button in center. So gravity should be center, so it will be automatically assigned in center of layout. We need to add some drawable start like a Google icon. So you can go to the Google Chrome, search for a flat icon. So flat icon is a website where it provide a best icon for your Android application or a website designing. So you can search here Google. So there is a free icon also or a premium icon also. So we need a free one. So whichever you like, click on them, and then after we need this icon in SVG file. We are not using a PNG because we are not able to change the size of this icon in our project file like we are using in button. So there is no options to change the drawable size of the icon. So we need a SVG, and before selecting we are going to select a size like a 24 pixel, and then after SVG free downloads. So I downloaded our SVG file like a Google icon. It is not visible like a image format, but when we are going to import this in our project, it will be in Google like a image format. So how to import this icon in our project is so simple. Go to the project and just select our Androids, and then open app, resource, drawables, and left click. There is an option for a vector asset. Click on them, and there is some vector available in our project also. If you want to use this vector, you can use it, that I will show you. So there is a different vector, but it is a basic vector. If you want to add from outside, you can like download from flat icons. So click on this local file, then after you want to select that SVG file just we downloaded before. So I'm going back to my folder, just copy the path, and you want to paste path here. So it will be automatically redirect to that folder. Open this folder, you can find out that google.svg file. Click on them, and it will show the pixel, how much size you need to set. So I'm going to set a 24 pixel. It's a good for using in left side of a button. So the SVG file has added successfully, and automatically the name will be assigned IC_Google. Like you can see in my button left side, the Google icon has been added successfully. Now this button is looking little bit good, and we need one text also. So I added a one text also and given the text name as a all detail, like I given a ID like all detail, and then width and height will be wrap content, and the text size is 18 sp, and just I return a demo so it will be visible for you that where is the text, and text style is bold and layout margin button, so gap between the button and text will be 20 dp. So that's it, we have created a button and text view. Then we back to the dashboard, that is the main activity of our design. So first of all we need to create the variables of that button or text view. So I create the variable of that text view. Then after we need a Google Firebase also, so just search for a Google sign in client, and I'm going to name this Google sign in client. So we have created this text view. We want to hook this text view from our XML file. So all details, so text view variable name is all detail equal to find view by id.r.id, and then our text view name is all detail. If you want to check this text view is selected correct or not, so control and just move your cursor on this name of the text view and click on them, so it will be automatically redirect and show which text you have selected. So through this you can confirm that you have selected a correct text. Then after we need all the details which have put in like a put extra in intent, so we need this all detail in this text view. So what can I do, like I split this XML design so it will be easily visible for you, so you can understand easily. So this is our text view. We want to add this all detail in this text view whenever this screen is created, whenever user is logged in successfully, then after all the detail will be set on this text view. So first of all we need to store that all detail in string. So get intent dot put extra, no, we don't need a put extra here, we need a get string extra. Then we need to give the name, what name you have given the data. So like we have given this person name has a name, email ID, person ID or person given name, so it will find in whatever data are stored in extra activities, so it will be easily accessible. So like this we want all the detail. So I created 3 more strings and I just stored all the person given name, email, person ID, all this. Now we want to set this all detail in our text view. So here we want to write all details. Then after first we want to just give the name person name, so it will print a person name. You can see mobile screens where I have shown a demo person, and then after we are going to print the person name. So yeah, here is given a name of that string, so name like this plus, and I want to print this in new line, so that's why I'm going to use a backslash n. So I set all the details in this text view, like a person email, person ID, person given name. So text view work has been completed. Now we want to add some functionality on button. So when user click on this button, so first of all we need to hook this button. So we are going to create the variables. So we are going to creating here only button and giving the name of that button sign out button variables, and then after find view by id dot sign out button. So we have hooked that button in our main activity. Then sign out button where dot set on click listener new view by on click listener. So whenever user click on this sign out button, so we need that user has been signed out from the Google account. So we are going to use this instance variable which we have created before mgoogle dot sign out. So we need that after sign out it will move to the sign in screen. So whenever you are using applications, if you log out, then it will be directly move to the login screen. So if you are using any website where you are a log out, it will move to the login screen or a home page, maybe depend upon which type of application you are creating. So redirect the user to that home page or a login screen. So I am going to using a main activity. So intent equal to new intent, then get application context, then after the name of that activity is a main activity where after signing out activity, start activity. So our code part is completed. Now we are going to build this application and test it's working fine or not. So you can connect your device to laptop by using a USB cables, or you can create a virtual device. If you have a high performance PC like a 16GB RAM, 32GB RAM, i7, i5 processor, 9th generation, so you can create a virtual device. If your PC performance is not that much good, like not a high configuration, so I suggest you can connect your device through laptop by using a USB, and then turn on the USB debugging. So you can see here my device is connected successfully. Now I'm just going to build these applications. After building, it will be automatically installed in my Android device. So we can click on build. You can see the process. So now you can see my mobile screen application has been installed successfully. So when I click in sign in button, so it will show the list of Gmail which is available in my mobile. So I'm going to select one email. So after selecting that email ID, sign in successfully toasted message and be shown, and then after we have used as a text view to display the detail of our ID like a name. So name, email ID, tokens, given name, all things are displayed. And there is a sign out button. When I click on the sign out button, it will be automatically redirect to the sign in screens which I given in our code. So that's it. So it's working fine. So I hope you can understand. So if I forgot something to teach you in this tutorial, so I can give in description section. So please you can check the description section also, and this code also available in description section. So you can download this code and test if you want. And I created a lots of different interesting video also, like OTP verifications, mobile number OTP verifications, how to create a payment system in our Android applications. And there is no internet connection in our Android application, so it will show the pop-up list on the internet connections. So there is a lots of different interesting tutorial already created, so you can check out in description section. I give all video link in description section, so you can check out description section. So I hope you like this video. If you like this video, hit on like buttons, and if you want this interesting video more, so please subscribe to my YouTube channel and then click on the bell icon. Whenever I upload an interesting video, you get notified. Thank you so much for watching this video.